Okay, so think about this for just a second. With all that we are learning when it comes to head injuries and football, would you still allow your child to play?
That's a good question, Jimmy, because when my boys were growing up, we worried about things like injuries, broken bones, getting their teeth knocked out, maybe a torn knee ligament. Concussions were part of the game, but not so much. We didn't worry about them as much, I guess.
Worrisome.
Yeah.
A lot of people reflect that very same concern. As a matter of fact, Pop Warner, the nation's largest youth football program, the program that 60 to 70% of all NFL players started in, saw participation drop by nearly 10% between 2010 and 2012. That is the largest two-year decline since the organization started keeping such statistics. The number one reason being pointed to, the fear over concussions. It's a problem that high school athletic trainer Marion Vruggink says is all too common.
Concussions are a real common injury in sports. We see them in most contact sports.
Contact sports like high school football, and every season more than 1 million football teens take to the field. 67,000 of those will get a concussion.
Their brains at this age are not fully matured, and it takes longer to recover when they have some kind of impact.
Purdue researchers have been studying the brains of local high school football players for the last 5 seasons, and the research shows athletes may be taking a bigger hit than what they think.
We are seeing changes in the athletes during the season as a result of hit exposure.
Cognitive testing during the football season showed changes in verbal, visual, and cognitive memory, but the changes don't last long term.
Most of the data, the athletes recover in the postseason, so they return to their preseason baseline.
Now Purdue researchers are working to develop a safer helmet. Researcher Evan Breedlove says it's not an easy task.
We don't have a really strong definition of what safer is. We're trying to understand better what the existing tests tell us and determine what are really the important measures that tell you whether or not a helmet's going to protect you from a skull fracture or protect you from a concussion.
As research continues, Breedlove says helmets on the market now do a good job of keeping athletes safe, but urges parents to check them before their child heads out onto the field.
Make sure that it fits well and make sure that it remains in good condition. Different aspects like that can improve the quality of the performance of your helmet.
Vruggink says until a better helmet's developed, parents and coaches need to make sure athletes aren't taking too many hits.
We need to be paying attention to this and seeing what we can do to try to protect our kids and make it a safer sport.
It's truly amazing how much focus and study is going into this. And another thing that researchers are looking at for helping to treat concussions, believe it or not, fruit flies.
Yeah, scientists say these tiny, often bothersome creatures could be the breakthrough they've been looking for. How, you ask? Well, a university professor of genetics says about 75% of the genes in the flies are conserved in humans. That means if you find the gene that's impacted during concussion of the fruit fly, you can find a similar gene in humans. The science could soon be so precise, scientists could actually figure out who's most prone to the effects of a brain injury before it even happens. So, Jimmy, the next time you even think about smashing one of those little flies, you could be impacting science. So, another insect nobody wants to have around, cockroaches.
People will try anything to get rid of them, except for one guy. He says for 16 years now, he simply can't get his hands on enough of a certain American species of cockroaches. From medicines to face masks, even to dinner. Reporter David McKenzie shows us this bug business is booming.
If you're eating, maybe put down your fork, because Wang Fu Min has a surprise for you. Welcome to the roach farm. That's right, cockroaches.
So inside here is where they breed the cockroaches. You can just hear them in here, and they stink of ammonia. And Wang says that in these rooms there are nearly 1 million cockroaches, and it is literally the stuff of nightmares.
I feel close to them, Wang tells me. Just smell that unique smell they have.
Ooh, you can smell it, huh?
Unbelievably, this crop of American cockroaches brings in serious cash for Wang. He's the roach kingpin in a growing market in China.
This is the mother load in this one giant packet of roaches. Wang says there's around half a ton of these critters, and they could all be ordered by Chinese pharmaceutical companies. It's almost 6 feet tall.
Wang says pharmaceutical companies are lining up to buy his stash. They peddle crushed roach pills in China as a catch-all cure for stomach, liver, and heart ailments. And it's not just business for Wang. Since the age of 7, he's been admiring and eating cockroaches. And that one's just an appetizer. Because Wang prefers his roaches fried in peanut oil.
I have to say they look worse than when they went in.
He wants to push it as a protein snack. It hasn't quite caught on yet.
So it tastes like peanut oil, but then the aftertaste is exactly how you would imagine cockroaches to taste.
If you don't try it, you will regret your decision forever, says Wang.
I'm going to have to take Wang's word on that one. But the idea that these critters actually have a healing purpose and cleansing properties is rather interesting. As a matter of fact, did you know, I know.
Everybody in the studio audience is just like
making the same face. So along with the face masks, experts say ground up roaches and bugs can also be found in your toothpaste, in your anti-aging products, in your coffee, your chocolate, even your strawberry frappuccino. And guess what? Wang says he's making $160,000 a year.
Really?
So maybe you and I need to open a cockroach farm. And
I tell you what, you be the hands-on person, I'll take care of the books.
we'll have to talk
Got a
about
deal.
this. Yeah. So they say if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. On the track of staying healthy, what about eating fresh fruits and vegetables from a farmer's market? Not just this time of year, but all year round. Delmarva Life's Sean Stryker shows us where we can.
Plus, falls are the #1 cause of fatal injuries in older Americans. Next, we'll hear just a few simple changes you can make to your everyday life to help prevent these accidents.
Now, there may be a few preventative measures to be taken in your bathroom. We're going to find out how to go about it and if it's a possibility for you. Delmarva Life will be right back.